answer. Black and white. Love is the answer. South Africa. Love is the answer. Nicaragua.
Honorary, love you all.
Love is the only answer.
So, which order? Then Mr. Alston, Becket, Cyrus.
Music sweet, 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 sweet. Mary, do you wanna? I coming high, 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 high. Chancellor, today the ABC of Calypso in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and one of the Caribbean's stalwarts who took Calypso, soca, and raga soca global, is certainly coming in high. It is my pleasure to present Alston Becket Cyrus, ABC, affectionately called Becket, a name he adopted after watching a historical movie in which the protagonist Thomas Becket portrayed a man of strong principles. This son of Vincy soil certainly made a mark in the entertainment world as a singer, a composer, a purveyor of Caribbean calypso soca culture. In his 47-year career, he has been a prolific producer of superlative works and performances. 28 albums, a song on the movie soundtrack for the motion picture The Deep, 5 compositions featured in popular television programs such as Full House and The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and 8 road march titles. He has performed worldwide in places such as the Apollo Theater in New York City, the Brooklyn Academy of Music, Howard University, Festival de Música del Caribe, Cartagena, Colombia, Expo 92, Sevilla, Spain, and numerous carnivals regionally and in the diaspora. He performed at the first annual Caribbean Music Awards in New York and won Record of the Year and Best Party Tune in 1991. The man that the Caribbean respects and who receives much praise and adoration from his friends, colleagues, and family members is often described as a true gentleman, full of compassion and humility, with a genuine love for steel pan music, calypso, soca, cricket, football, and of course, people. Becket began his life in Layou, a fishing town in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the first of 8 children raised by a single mother, the late Miss Pearl Cyrus, and his grandmother. He grew up picking fruits in the mountains and cotton on the local estate, fishing and swimming at the beach, sneaking onto buses to go to the cinema to watch Western movies, and beseeching his uncle, who frequented calypso and pan shows, to take him along. Becket enjoyed the Western movies at the cinema so much that he would reenact scenes for his friends in the Layou town. Indeed, his foray into calypso singing may have started during his jaunts to the calypso tents as a little boy, as he frequently created his own stage to sing. Over the years, he has practiced his craft with principle, discipline that exemplified his career and influenced his personal life. Today, this beacon, who in 1977 informed us that he was coming high, maintains his vigor through a daily routine of health and well-being that includes fruit consumption, walking, and swimming. Some of his friends will suggest that the same focused diligence with which he pursues this lifestyle is reminiscent of the almost compulsive zeal with which he pursued his musical career. Apart from Becket the singer and songwriter, he is multifaceted with diverse interests and talents. Becket's first love was the steel pan, so much so that he and his friend Ashes, as little boys, in the absence of their own pans to play, would reproduce the sound of a tenor pan with their mouths. Becket went on to play with the Key West Symphony in Layou and the Starlift Steel Orchestra, where he played a real tenor pan. This creative genius also has an athletic side. As a youngster in primary school, he won many races, apparently without breaking a sweat, which is probably why he was known as a sweatless sprinter. He ran so fast to the finish line that there was no time to sweat. He also enjoyed football and cricket, participating in the village and town cricket games, whether it was with a breadfruit or a softball. This community-minded son recognized that sports could provide positive experiences and opportunities for young people like himself, and this led him to spearhead, along with a few friends, the formation of the Gladiators Sports Club in the 1960s. This club opened the way for members to participate in local competitions, a first for a rural club in those days when it was almost unheard of for a country team to compete in town. Other founding members of the club recall Becket's role in this venture, including raising funds to purchase uniforms and other supplies for the club and encouraging other youth to join the club. It is perhaps this yearning to help young people that contributed to his joining the teaching fraternity in St. Vincent and the Grenadines under the then existing teacher-pupil system at the age of about 15 years old. And I have it on good authority that he could often be found teaching his students how to sing. In 1969, this humble Vinci emigrated to the United States so that his family, his mother, and siblings could widen their prospects. To sustain his family, Becket joined the U.S. Army and later the U.S. Postal Service. This altruistic act was not lost on his family. His sister Dawn described his love as unconditional, which, in the words of his brother Noel, earned him the respect of a parent. His love for his family and his big heart shone through once again as he cared for his mother Pearl over the 4-year period prior to her passing. Chancellor, it was while he was in the army that Becket faced the truth that singing and calypso were to be his career. This realization came as he entertained the soldiers, his real mission being to expose them and the rest of the world to Caribbean calypso and soca music, and to create fusions of calypso and other genres of music. After this epiphany, the rest, as they say, is history. And of course, carnival history was born. Becket launched onto a path to become one of the best writers of calypso and soca that this region has ever seen. His ability to pen lyrics, spontaneously fuse them with sweet melodies, and craft these into incredible performance is legendary. This humble lyrical genius, with a penchant for double entendre, describes his talent as God-given, explaining that he hears the lyrics and melodies in his head before he uses his guitar to commit words and music to paper. Chancellor, I must mention that Becket had no formal lessons in guitar playing. He is self-taught, musical genius. Need I say more? Perhaps only to add that this Vinci son has written over 150 songs in his career. Becket's musical genius, meticulous nature, and perfectionism led to incredible compositions that truly represent the calypso and soca art forms. He has the ability to write songs that reflect phenomena that he observes or current events. Over the years, through his music, Becket has admonished us to don't look down on a man, a powerful song about lifting up our fellow men and women whose stories are unknown. His superlative love for his homeland, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, bred that most patriotic song that is known by every Vincentian, SVG, I Love You. In 1976, when there was a debate about the idea of freedom to use marijuana, Legalize the Grass flowed from his pen. Perhaps a song ahead of its time, considering recent developments in the region in that area. And ironically, in 1979, when cultivating and using the herb was still frowned upon by the law, Coming High, a controversial song at the time, was played by the Trinidad Police Band following the Independence Parade from the Queen's Park Savannah to the St. James Barracks. Chancellor, who can forget Becket in his pink two-piece suit and black cape, crooning the somewhat controversial song, Miss Must Duck, a song which stole the Trini crowd as a first performance in Trinidad's Professionals Calypso tent. Records by Lara and the rest of the West Indies team birthed an entire album with 10 cricket songs. Political and social injustices globally spawned the song Oppression, which was adopted by Grenada during the revolution in 1979. And in 2004, after Hurricane Ivan, Becket was motivated as he empathized with the people of Grenada to write Grenada Will Rise. A trip to the barber shop and learning the latest trending haircut led to Gala Rush Me, which became many a hopeful young and not so young man's chorus. Even this year, after following media coverage of shootings in the USA, this prolific singer and songwriter remastered his song Gunshot Blues, which was originally written on his 25th anniversary album. The high quality of Becket's music, which many of his fans describe as hypnotic and ecstatic, is no accident. The Asterix band members and arrangers like Frankie McIntosh, who are like his family, will tell you that studio time does not end until Becket is happy with every instrument, every beat, every lyric, and every chord. Groaning stomachs and rest time were not on the table until the song was completed to his satisfaction, even if that meant pulling all-nighters. It is no wonder that this music that wakes you up and makes you want to dance and sing reached all parts of the globe. Who could resist songs like, You Ain't Nothing But a Teaser, a Dirty, Dirty Teaser, that was recorded in 10 different languages? Chancellor, the expert songwriter and owner of 2 publishing companies, was honored by his homeland with the title of Goodwill Ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2001. His love for his country and his people has evolved into a charity in his hometown. The Becket Benefit Organization raises funds every year to assist less fortunate persons in the community, including access to medical care overseas for those who cannot afford it and provision of school supplies for students from disadvantaged homes. This generosity, added to his legendary musical genius, has some of his self-proclaimed #1 fans, like Nathan, in the Layou town in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, referring to Becket as the governor of Layou town. In all of his successes, he remains humble and loving, living up to the admonition that love really is the only answer. Indeed, Chancellor, Becket, the ABC of Calypso, is not only a talented writer and a perfectionist, he is also a man of principle and sound character. And now, Chancellor, it is with pleasure that I invite you, by the authority vested in you by the Council and Senate of the University of the West Indies, to confer on Mr. Alston Becket Cyrus the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Senate and Council of the University of the West Indies, I now confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, of the University of the West Indies. By the authority
St. Vincent, my homeland, you gave me no mansion, no gold, no diamond, yet I love you a million for the things that you have to offer. Is more than my heart's desire. Lovely beach, tropical breeze, always there within my reach. I love you, St. Vincent, me sweet little island, St. Vincent. I love you, St. Vincent, home of the blessed St. Vincent. St. Vincent, St. Vincent, I love you. Tomorrow you down on your fellow man, don't ever look down, black or white, old or young. On a man in need, never sprung. It ain't no fun. Don't look down on a man unless you picking him up. Picking him up. Reach out, lend a helping hand to your fellow man. Always do the best that you can. I tell you, don't look down on a man unless you picking him up. Picking him up. Be good to your fellow man. Even when he's wrong, always do the best that